Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative is speaking to Charlie Hudson III about Archive 81, streaming now worldwide on Netflix. Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I was telling you before we started, this show is so awesome. Yeah. The reception has been so amazing. Congrats. I bet it's been pretty crazy on your end these days.
It has been. And the cool thing about it is, I couldn't talk about it while we were shooting. So now it's really cool. Now I'm like, finally, I can talk about it to my friends and family. And everybody is hitting me up, texting me, calling me and stuff. So it's great.
The trailer gets released. People are like, oh, Netflix, psychological thriller, so much is happening. What's your mindset when that launches and you know that it's coming up close, that it is going to be on Netflix? What's that like kind of couple days before it launches?
It is the peak of excitement. The total peak of excitement. I kept going back to Netflix just to watch the trailer and stuff. And then like my mom and dad, of course, they knew I was filming it. So they were calling me and they were like, oh, I think I know what happens from the trailer. I'm like, okay, Ma, you definitely don't know what's happened. But, oh, man, it was too cool.
And we're going to get into some things about your character because Dr. Turner, there's so much going on. And especially in that first episode, I will say to all our viewers, it's going to be in the description. We are going to be talking a little bit about spoilers. So if you haven't seen the show yet,
watch it.
Dr. Turner, time's not wasted with that storyline. Like, what is going on? Like, why are you in the video?
I can't really tell that part. And one thing about me, I'll let you know, I talk a lot, so I'm trying to keep from telling too many spoilers. But yeah, man, he pops up early on.
Yep.
Early on, and his through line throughout the entire series is very intriguing.
But you know what? It's interesting. There's a lot of characters in this, so I won't go into big spoilers, but there's wonder with Dr. Turner very early on. Can we just leave it at that?
Yes, yeah, we'll leave it with that.
It's weird to do these interviews sometimes, especially like it's out now, right? Like it's so people can see it. But I sometimes have done interviews in the past, Charlie, where it's like a month before it's out, and like I've seen it, and I'm kind of like, this is so weird right now. Like I don't know what to say.
Like what to tell, what not to tell. Yeah.
The show is a slow burn. But with a lot of characters, in terms of their arc and their growth, it's not a slow burn. So what's that kind of like? Where it's overall a slow burn, but you look character to character, there's some speedy moments with a lot of characters.
It is. The thing that's really cool about it is you see the specificity in everything, from not only the actors themselves, but the specificity in the work, the specificity in the set dressing and everything. So it's cool to see like one little thing from scene one in the first episode might pop back up later on in like scene two in episode 8 or something.
Yeah.
So that's really cool to see.
What did you know about the role? Like, did you know enough before going in like to the audition? Like, what did you know about Dr. Turner and the role you were going to play in Archive 81?
Honestly, from the breakdown, if I remember correctly, it said he was a nice, charming doctor, a father, family man.
It's very vague.
Yeah, it was very vague. And the funny thing about it, I didn't know of the podcast.
Yeah.
So once I saw in the breakdown that it was based off the podcast, I read the audition material and immediately got hooked.
See, I host a podcast and I didn't even know it was a podcast. Am I out of the loop? Like I saw all the comments.
Same. I was joking with some of my friends. I was like, why didn't anyone tell me about this podcast? So I listened to I want to say that night that I got it, I think I listened to like the first season of the podcast, just straight through, and immediately got hooked and started to like figure out ways that my character could fit into it. And this is before I even auditioned or sent in the audition tape. So I got hooked early on.
Yeah. So This is one of my favorite shows on TV right now. This is by a landslide. And I'll tell you why. There's one thing about this show, and this is more of kind of like a comment that I want you to like respond to rather than a question.
Okay.
This is a genre-bending show. They are throwing so many things in there.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you can name it one genre over the other.
You can't.
No.
You can't. It's drama, suspense, horror, everything wrapped up in one.
Do you know that going into it, or do you kind of find out while you're making it?
I feel like you find out while you're making it.
Yeah.
Like when you're reading the script, there's certain things that kind of pop out. Like the suspense part and the drama part popped out. But there are like funny little moments that happen in there, and the different moments that just pop out. You're like, oh wow, I didn't even realize that.
Mm-hmm. Is it interesting to also see? Again, it's not spoilers, but like there's like kind of moments there's like conversations between characters that seem like they're just regular conversations, but then when you think about it and you're not passive, you're active watching this, you're like, wait a second. Yeah. Like, why did he say that? Yeah. Like, that's uncomfortable. Like, is it interesting to be part of a show as well where the scares or like the kind of things that are going to stimulate you, Charlie, are not that obvious or not from kind of the traditional kind of ways of scaring people?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Because like I said, on the page, it is suspenseful and stuff on the page, but then actually seeing it, oh man, I was blown away. I was totally blown away.
Dude, it's so good. It looks so good.
Thank you.
Is it one of those things too where, like, when did it start hitting you that you had something special? You're making it when you see the trailer. Like, when do you know? Because you never know, right? You go in, you work on something. Do you have kind of a moment that you were doing something special here, though?
Honestly, my second day filming.
Yeah.
Honestly, my second day filming. Reading the script when we had the first table read, I was like, this is going to be pretty cool. But then once I got on set and started to meet everyone in person and we started filming, I literally said on set, oh, this is going to be dope. This is going to be dope.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting also to see that, I mean, we're doing this interview right now. I don't think it hasn't even been out for a week, right?
I don't think it has, no. It came out, Friday, I think? This past Friday?
But isn't that the thing about Netflix? It's the Netflix effect, right?
Yes.
Like, there's no, like, were you prepared a little bit? The fact that it was on Netflix, though, because of their global reach and the binge culture, that it was going to hit so hard, or not really?
Not really. Like, in my mind, because we all know Netflix and we all binge like, I love Netflix.
Yeah.
I had in my mind, like, oh, people are going to watch it. But it wasn't until the first trailer came out. Yep. And I had literally friends from across the country hitting me up. And one or two people that I went to school with that actually live overseas hit me up on Facebook, in the Facebook Messenger, like, dude, I just saw the trailer. I was like, oh, snap, it is going to be seen around the world.
Well, the trailer was the talk of the town, though. Like, that trailer was like, I don't know if you talked to your team about that. Like, that trailer blew up.
Yeah.
Like, it did.
It really did.
Like, I remember.
And I got extra excited just watching it.
And people know, because of Pop Alternative, we love horror. And, like I said, it's genre bending. So I don't know if we can call it one thing, right? There definitely is the horror component of it. And you definitely see the horror component in the trailer. And all my friends know that I'm a big horror fan. So, like, on Instagram, like, the sent messages, it was sent to me like 7 times. Kind of a storyline question for you as well. In the show, a lot of characters, are going through a lot of things and going through a lot of self-reflection. There's that kind of mystery component with a lot of kind of, why are they doing this? Why are they thinking about this and everything? From your perspective, kind of going in and seeing this like on the script and then putting it on the screen, I don't know if you can really prepare, but like, do you see the complexity of a lot of the characters and the situations they're thrown in the script, or do you see it more like afterwards when it's on screen?
To me, you can see it in the script because one, the writers are amazing.
Yep.
So you could see it in the script, and even in between takes and sometimes during the takes, when we'll talk about different things, we started to piece together different through lines and stuff that will connect, and everything was just so purposeful and nuanced until it was like these things are amazing.
Yeah,
but the writing helped out a lot. So,
but you know where I'm going with, right? There's complexity with a lot of the characters, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is interesting. I haven't done one in a while because of the pandemic, obviously. But are you a fan of the escape rooms?
I am. I did one for my friend. Surprised me for my birthday 2 years ago, and took me to an escape room. Oh man, I had the most fun. We didn't make it out.
I'm just saying, I hope Netflix hears this. Archive 81 escape room.
Oh, that would be so dope.
Could you imagine?
That would be so dope.
Like, it has to happen, right?
I'm already there.
I don't like this escape rooms, though. They have the horror movie escape rooms, right? The scary ones where they're trying to freak you out. There was one I did, Charlie. No, I got to tell you this. Like, I say this in a lot of podcasts and a lot of interviews I do. The setting, it's like a house and there was a murder, right? And the family was murdered and you're trying to find clues, right? One of the clues, and there's windows all around. You're in a house, right? So you go to the kitchen area. There's the kitchen sink and there's the faucet and there's the drain and there's a locket that you have to get like from the faucet, right? But they have a window on top, like on top of the kitchen, right? So you purposely like have to look down, right, to get the locket, and then you look up and someone with a mask is right in front of you.
No,
like they know what they're doing, and it's funny too. They know too, eh? Like there's 4 guys, like it's myself and my friends. We go in. I'm the one that's freaked out, right? Like, what's that? They're like, someone's behind there. The people working there. That's my guy. Like I'm gonna scare him. Right? Like they know. It's planned. They know this is my guy. I'm going to scare him the whole time.
That would have been me. I would have been screaming the entire time.
But Archive 81 escape room, can you imagine all the roots?
It's perfect. It's a perfect match.
It's the perfect show for an escape room.
Yes.
When people get a chance to watch it, the obvious answer to this question is you hope they enjoy it, they have a good time. Diving deep into it a little bit more, Charlie, when they watch Archive 81 on Netflix, what are you hoping they get out of it, takeaway-wise?
One, I hope they really do see the love.
Yeah.
Because the love is definitely all the way throughout.
Oh, yeah.
The love that Dan has for his family, that my character, Stephen Turner, has for his family, the love that Melody develops instantly for the other characters in the show. So that is a nice through line that's woven throughout. But sometimes, different times we focus on the horror part or the suspense part, which is definitely there, but it's love all throughout, which is, I love it.
I feel like it's very difficult too, because see, it was so intense, and like I watched it in 2 days. Like I didn't watch it all in one take. You laugh, but you're like, of course, like it's kind of hard to do that with a show.
Yeah. I started off watching at night, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch in the daytime.
So all the theories, and like they're all on social media, all the theories and everything, of course, right? Because of Netflix and everything, it's so quick, it's out there. This is a hard show to do theories about, because I'm watching, like, I have a theory about a character, and then I watch 2 episodes, and I'm like, well, we can just throw that. Exactly.
I did the same thing.
It's hard to make theories about this show. It is.
Yes. Which I think is really cool.
Do you think it was done on purpose, where the writers let's make them stumped every time?
Everybody.
The writers are probably like, let's make them stumped every episode. Were you surprised and kind of excited to see kind of like the roots your character goes through in the show too? Like it's pretty awesome.
I definitely was. I like I said, I read all the scripts, was there for the table reads and stuff. But once again, like I said, when it's on the page is one thing, and then actually seeing it cut and put together in its entirety, man, it's beautiful, and it's humbling at the same time to know that I'm a part of something so great.
It's so amazing, and I'm so happy for you and the cast and the crew. Charlie, thank you so much for coming on Pop Turn to chat about Archive 81, man. This was awesome.
Hey, thank you for having me. Anytime, brother.
So it's available now on Netflix, season 1. And, you know, if they've watched it, you know what they could do, right? They could watch it again.
Watch it again.
And then wait and then wait for the escape room.
Yes. We'll be the first two in line.
Yeah, 100%. Where can people follow you? It has to happen. Netflix made the perfect show for an escape room.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna get that out there. I'm gonna tweet. I'm gonna do that. Where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
On Instagram, I'm at Charlie 3 Stacks.
Yep.
And on Facebook, I'm just at my name, Charlie Hudson III. And on Twitter, Charlie 3 Stacks as well.
Amazing. This has been Popturnative, youtube.com/Popturnative for previous episodes. Popturnative.com has other features for audio only versions of our interviews, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. You're going to be able to catch Charlie Hudson III as Dr. Turner in Archive 81, which is currently streaming now worldwide on Netflix. Until next time, this is Charlie and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popturnative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popturnative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popturnative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.